like you shouldn't be influenced. Even going back to the thing that we originally discussed is like, you shouldn't, like when you go about your day, right? And you have these negative influences acting upon you, and you have to like bring about or like combat it with like your own positive energy so that you maintain like the same pace and sanity and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like the goal of bringing mindfulness throughout your day, or the goal of, bringing God or however you want to describe it in throughout the day, is that hopefully you grow up to be strong enough that not only can you fight against the negative influences of the day-to-day life, but you become such a powerful positive influence, that you begin to attract others of similarity to you. Right now, the concept of individualism is true because on one hand, because if you have a strong personal constitution, meaning if you're someone who has taken the time to understand not only yourself, but what it is that you truly believe and want and love and on all that in life, and then are able to hold that to be true. You find the things basically in your life that you're like, regardless of the circumstances, I find these things to be true. Like you've done that exercise and you've answered those questions like down that rabbit hole, and you've developed this strong personal constitution. You can step out into the world in any environment and defend yourself against it because you took the time to craft it, your constitution, to more perfectly craft it. On the other side of things, there is value in culture and
100%.
in society. And some of those values are unseen until you learn like the history and experience the things in life that other people have to like bring you to where you are. Like people 1,000 years ago, and that's going back a long time to establish culture. We can go back just a couple 50, the culture changes all the time, but whatever, go back 1,000 years ago, like people weren't idiots. 2,000 years ago, people weren't idiots. Like they had the same level of intellectualism. It was just that where those capacities reached differed, right? Like you said, they built the pyramids, but it's because they were just as smart as we are today, and using the resources they had around them, they just got the smartest people to sit there and fucking think all day about it. Like until they came up with the idea.
There's people that built it. There's people that designed it. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole
and they got to sit there
it.
all day, and they didn't have Instagram and Pinterest and whatever else people are on to like distract them. They were just there chilling, so they could just sit there all day and be like, oh yeah, I think this shape works, and I got my drawing right here, and let's try it. And if the shit didn't work, oh well, we still have the rest of our lives. There's no Netflix and there's nothing to distract me.
Let's keep going.
Like just keep it, keep it pushing, and like, so like there are certain things in and of that like hold true over time, and they remain cultural values. And there's a reason that they've remained valuable over time. And for me, some of those are like things that people nowadays are kind of moving against, right? So I'm still kind of with the idea of marriage, right? Like,
what do you mean by kind of?
I mean like the unification of two people,
okay.
Like in like a public thing, like to the world, we're making an announcement that we're gonna be unifying like our families or our tribes or our legacies or our souls. And you know what I'm saying? Like we're making a public decree of this. Like I'm still with that general idea, even though nowadays a lot of people are moving away from it, right? But that's a value that I found that holds true throughout the thing. So it's part of the culture that, and there's places you can go in the world where you'll be the minority, but that's something that I still, fuck with pretty much, So like, I think that I agree with you. The nose ring, if you want it, like, bro, at the end of the day, it's not me. I'm not wearing this shit. I don't give a fuck. So it's like, you can do whatever you want everywhere. But individualism isn't the end all be all. Individualism very easily can turn to selfishness.
100%. I 100% agree. I think if you are constantly on this mindset of it's about me, and you don't understand necessarily where you are from and how your culture is, it can have an infliction on the relationship that you have with those people. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like even like what you said, it was like if you are being selfish, not only with your ideals, but with your time and the way that you spend your energy, because you feel like, oh, it's about me, they're not going to see you as part of the community anymore. They kind of just see you as, oh, that's just Ahmed. You know what I'm saying? He just does his own thing. When it's like, you should still come together as people. And it's very similar to the marriage thing where like you come together as people. You're not just marrying that one person. You're marrying their entire family, bro. You know what I'm saying? You have to, have good relations with them, understand them, you know what I'm saying? Make it work. Like it's not an easy thing. Now, marriage in itself, in terms of having the government involved, is like a little like.
That's why I threw you heard the kind.
Yeah.
You heard the kind in
because
there.
it's kind of stupid.
I was like, the idea, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
the idea of having us together. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
But the government being involved, I'm like,
right.
I'm not sure about that.
I mean, but here's my thing, right? And here's my pushback against myself on that, right? The government being involved literally is the culture. Continuing. Like, that is the societal decree. This is how you publicly declare it. Like, government is just the people. It's us. It's like
we decree that it happened.
Yeah, like we always say that like government is like they and these powerful figures
but the government is us.
JP Morgan and the Rothschild. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but they're us.
Exactly. It's just us. Like, we are the people. Like, if that's what a government is, it's a collective group of people working towards like a common action or a common goal. So it's like at the end of the day, like if you don't want the government to recognize it, it's like, well, in certain aspects, you're kind of sidestepping the government. And then I think that's okay. I don't think it's fine to always be a rule follower, but I think if you choose to follow or choose to not follow the rules, regardless of which, you should understand why. I think a lot of times the opposite's true too. Like if something's the rule, like, I mean, well, I guess marriage was the rule and now people are going against it, but I think there's a lot of things that are like rules and people don't question them.
No, yeah, 100%. I remember this one I had.
They could be unsaid rules.
Yeah,
like the nose ring is an unsaid rule. Like, why does it matter?
Like, I remember
nose ring. Why does it matter? What about Dennis Rodman?
Who's Dennis Rodman?
He played on the Bulls. You don't remember?
No.
Oh, okay. I mean, he literally played on the Bulls before you were born.
Oh yeah, that's probably why I don't know.
But he played with Jordan and Pippen. And Dennis Rodman, he had the crazy colored hair. He had the nose rings and the earrings and the tattoos and everything. And this is back in the day, like before
even 6'9".
6'9", bro. I'm saying like before you were born, bro. And he was like one of the star players in like the NBA. So like,
culturally, it was just it was
shock. And this dude was slanging it. Like he was with Madonna. He's very outspoken, very like whatever. Like he was over in North Korea, with Kim Jong-un.
Oh, that's him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, ambassador to North Korea from the U.S.
That's crazy.
Rodman.
That's crazy. No, but like when I got my earring, I remember Mom and I had a discussion. She was like, "Why do you feel like you need to have it? Like it's women are supposed to have it, whatever it is." But I remember, and I brought this up because it's true. Back. If you go back 2,000 years or so, the culture of Sudan and Egypt, men wore heels, men wore makeup, and they wore earrings or like piercings. So in my head, I was like, so why is it now, frowned upon? You know what I'm saying? And she's like, well, culturally, it's just not correct. And I was like, okay, that's fair. But that was a cultural, fact or a truth I had to question and be like, you know what? Although culturally, yes, that's true. I'm going to like... not defy it, but kind of go on my own way. I'm like, I don't necessarily believe this part of the culture, and I'm going to kind of just do my own thing with it because there's not a, universal. You cannot have piercings.
Well, here in the U.S., men wore powdered wigs.
Yeah,
and they role played.
Yeah, no, even in Asia, like the women actors or whatever, those were men that were playing
back in the day.
Back in the day,
yeah,
because the women. I forgot why they didn't allow women to do it, but it might have been because of like...
Because niggas were stupid, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
because of like sexualization.
They're like,
that.
Keep women inside. Like, we can't,
Keep the woman down, be in the kitchen. Like, yeah.
It's like, bro, shut the fuck up.